Parliamentary finance, political blocs do not agree to amend Article 12 on the region's oil. HCL gets its second reading on Monday. It appears there will be serious progress on the HCL. This is a case where the title of the article does not reflect the content. I am being told if the second reading goes well, they will immediately do the third reading, then boom, we will finally have the HCL. I bought Dinar at Wells Fargo 20 years ago. They stopped because they got wind of what's going on around 2012-2014, but now they don't say that it's a scam anymore because they got wind of the US Treasury's communications with them. I try to be calm, cool and collected as much as possible because I'll be honest with you, this transition, when it happens, is going to be something that everybody's going to have to deal with, and it's going to be a shock. Just like the World Bank had said to not just us, but they said to the countries of the world, be prepared for shock. They said it in writing that, hey, be prepared for shock, and when Iraq does a big move and other currencies are involved, markets will be shocked to some degree. They're bringing the budget off the shelf. I told you the budget would stay on the shelf collecting dust until they're about ready to revalue. From October 8th to now the budget did remain on the shelf collecting a whole bunch of dust. What did I tell you about January? I said January is a very critical month. Keep your eyes on it. They are now talking about pulling the budget off the shelf and getting the budget schedules approved by Parliament. Things are now finally preparing to happen and come forward because they're about ready to revalue the currency. They are de-dollarizing the whole Middle East. They are obligated to use IQD only and obligated to have a new exchange rate and currency. Foreign policy, demographic gift will make Iraq a global economic power with Washington's help. I guess they can't get it over there, pretty valuable. The brother said they have pallets of the smaller bills there in the vault, but they haven't released them yet to anyone. I guess he could get in serious trouble if they found out he took this picture. Frank, so I'm understanding this correctly, your friend who's a contractor, his interpreter has a friend at a bank and he took a picture and he smuggled them out and he gave them to your friend and your friend gave them to you. Sender, exactly. Frank, it had 3 qualifications, but the one that got me was the packaging. What's that? Note, underneath it, photo of the known 250 and 500 dinar notes. Frank, I don't know what that is. Where did you get this? Sender, it's from a contractor in Iraq. Frank, it's not just because of the color I see there, it's the packaging that attracts my attention. Sender, my buddy said he got the pictures from his interpreter friend who goes out on patrols with him daily. The interpreter's brother works in a very small bank. He had to pay the brother 3 bottles of Old Spice cologne in order to get this picture to him. Trump's envoy on his way to Iraq. A new message to al-Sudani quote, an American envoy is expected to arrive in Baghdad, carrying direct messages from Trump about the security of the region and Iraq's role in it. How can they do that and never add value to the dinar? There are many currencies around the world with weak exchange rates. An increase in the exchange rate is never a random act, it's a reflection of a country's success and economic growth. Encouraging Iraq to succeed and prosper is the only way to increase value. We've been spot on talking about the dollar auctions going to cease, and sure enough they have. I'm thankful that has happened because I know what I own and I'm looking forward to it just like everybody else. Passing laws is not a required step for the rate to change. If they continue their typical pattern and trend where they can't achieve a quorum, or they have too many differences and the session of Parliament gets rescheduled, don't let that be a discouragement. I'm kind of expecting something like that to happen. Either way, it does not impact the rate change, so don't worry about it. Last week I followed the parallel black market rate. On Sunday it was 1,310, on Monday it was 1,275, on Tuesday it was 1,170, Wednesday it was 1,160. Emo Sudani is looking for the black market to reach 1,000. When he does, emo, the game is on. That is the next step, ladies and gentlemen. They are watching the illegal black market, the value of the dollar is dropping, thank you CBI for stopping the auctions, we're getting close to the next step. While the issue of the Kurdistan region's financial dues to the federal government in Baghdad has sparked widespread political controversy over the past few days, a parliamentary movement is taking place in the Iraqi Council of Representatives by a number of committees to make some amendments to the budget schedules for the year 2025, especially the item related to facilitating the resumption of the region's oil exports. And among these options is the establishment of the Kurdistan Region Oil Company. Earlier on Monday, Kurdistan Region President Nekervan Barzani, during his meeting with Iraqi Parliament Speaker Mahmoud al-Moshadani, called for amending the budget law in a way that guarantees the rights and entitlements of the Kurdistan region. Nekervan Barzani has been visiting the federal capital, Baghdad, since yesterday, in order to put an end to some of the differences between the regional and central governments, regarding financial issues related to dues and salaries, and other oil issues related to resolving the issue of resuming the export of Kurdistan region's oil, which is suspended due to the cost of extraction for companies operating in the region. In this regard, a member of the Parliamentary Finance Committee, Maween El-Kadhimi, told Shafaq news agency, the committee hosted today a delegation from the Ministry of Finance from the Budget, Accounting and Public Debt Departments regarding the implementation of the general budget for the year 2024 and the complaints submitted by ministries and governorates about the lack of funding in the approved budget. Al-Kadhimi explained that the budget allocated for the year 2024 was 211 trillion dinars, while the actual expenditure in the same year was 156 trillion dinars, considering that the revenues did not exceed 137 trillion dinars and the remaining amount was provided from loans. He stressed the need for the general budget for the year 2025 to be more realistic and not exceed 150 trillion dinars, and after voting on amending the budget law in the House of Representatives, the government will calculate what is required for extracting and transporting oil in the Kurdistan region, where the cost varies from $6 to $16 in the upcoming budget tables. For his part, the member of the Parliamentary Oil Committee, Bassem Al-Gharabawi, stated that the Parliamentary Oil and Gas Committee held a meeting to discuss amending the general budget law related to the Kurdistan region's oil, and that the committee agreed that the amendment should be in accordance with the Iraqi law and constitution. Al-Gharabawi pointed out that there are a number of proposals submitted by the committee members regarding amending Article 12 of the budget law, and the proposals will be written into recommendations and will be presented in the second reading of the law.